Hello friends, last lecture we have studied what is this ubiquitous computing and what are the challenges of this ubiquitous computing. Now today we will see what is this design thinking, why it is important and five stages of this design thinking. So design thinking, what is this design thinking? Design thinking is a non-linear to the users, to challenges assumption, to redefine issues and to create innovative prototype and testing solutions. Design thinking is an iterative process. It is a best to tackle problems that are not clearly defined or unknown through five phases. That is, synthesize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So why this design thinking is important or why it is important? It is generally in designing the user experience, ability to understand and respond to rapid changes in user environment and behavioral skills is crucial. Since the Herbert Simon first mentioned design thinking in his 1969, the book The Artificial Science, and then contributed a large number of ideas to its principles. The world has been more connected and complex. This highly creative process was subsequently pursued by the professionals from variety of sectors, including architecture and engineering. Organizations from variety of industries in the 21st century are thinking about the design as valuable means of solving problems for the user of product and services. Design teams use the design thinking to address unidentified or unknown issues as they can reframe these problems in a human way and concentrate on what is the most important to the user. Design thinking is almost certainly the best way to think outside the box from all design process. Teams can improve user experience, research, prototype, and testing for usability to find a new way of satisfying customer needs. Design thinking as a driving force for business worldwide improvements. There is a global heavyweight like Google, Apple, Urban have demonstrated this remarkably. Match its standing as a popular subject at the worldwide leaders. The teams have the freedom to develop a ground breaking solution with a design thinking. Your staff can use this to gain insight that are difficult to access and use a collection of useful methods to identify the innovative solutions. So there are five stages of this design thinking. So design thinking is described in five phases by ASO Partner Design Institute at Stanford. Stanford. So these are not always the sequential stages, and this teams often run them parallel and repeat iteratively. So this what is this stage one? Is empathize. So what is this stage one? The research your user needs here. You should gain or insight into the problem, typically by researching your users. This empathy, like a design thinking, is crucial to human design process because it enables your own assumptions about the world to set apart and real insight into the user and their requirements. Stage two, define the state your user needs and problems. The time has to come, collect information during the stage of empathy. You then analyze, synthesize or synthesis your observation to determine the key problems identified by you and your team. These terms are referred to as a problem statement. You can build people to help keep your effort personally focused before thinking. Stage 3, that is ideate. Right? So challenges, or you can say challenge assumptions and create ideas. So you are now willing to generate thoughts with sound knowledge background in the first two phases. You can start thinking outside the box and find alternative way to view the problem and find the innovative solution to the problem statement. Brainstorming here is especially helpful. So in stage 4, so it's a prototype. Let's start to create the solution. So this is a testing phase. The objective is to determine the best solution possible for each problem. We examine the ideas generated. Your team should produce some cheap, scaled down version of the product, right? So, or we can say a specific feature in the product. This might just involve the prototyping paper. Stage 5. So, stage 5 is a test. So, try your solution. Let's try your solution out. Assessors. Test the prototypes rigorously. Design thinking is iterative, even if this is the final phase. Team often redefine the results and more problems. So you can therefore come back to earlier phases to make additional iterations. So we can therefore come back to the earlier phases to make some additional iterations, changes, and redefine. To find the alternatives or rule them out. In general, you should understand that these steps are different modes rather than the sequential steps that contribute to the entire design project. So your goal in the process is to understand the user and their ideal solution or a product to greatest extent possible. So this is a design thinking. So in question, in exam, question will be like this. That is, what is the design thinking? Explain 5 stages of a design thinking. Right? So next topic is finding things on a web. Finding things on a web. So here we have to study static web content and dynamic web content. So in static web content, so there are a message and the medium, the text, the graphics, that is movies and sound. In dynamic web content, we will study active web, fixed content, local interaction and changing view, research, and dynamic content. So this in a next lecture we will study what is this finding things on a web